Hello traders, I want to make this the best chat room in the world, so that's why I'm doing this video. Let's outline some of the guidelines so that we all know what's expected and what our different roles are. First of all, I've had a lot of questions on how to set up Option Stalker, so let me show you my screen configuration. Works really well. I've just launched Option Stalker. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to expand it so that it covers the page. You can see on the left-hand side there's a little bit of a gap, so I'm going to move it over. I'm going to grab the right-hand edge, and I'm going to move that over, and you'll see why in a second. I also like to have this list a little bit tighter in here. I'm going to pop up a chart, and this is going to be dedicated to the SPY. So I move it all the way to the top of the chart, and I move it, all the way to the top of the monitor, the viewing area, all the way to the bottom, and all the way to the right. So once I've done that, I've got my SPY chart. I don't particularly like to have the buy and sell signals on the screen, so I like to take those off. I like to go into a 5-minute chart. Personally, I don't care about the volume. All I need is the 1OP indicator. I'm going to right click, remove studies. I'm going to take the volume off. So now I don't have that, but I do want to have the 1OP indicator. It's really all I need. So I'm going to pull this down so that that area is minimized. I don't need to have it showing quite that much. Now, because I don't have much on the chart, I can see those crossovers very, very distinctly. And if I click on this window, you can see how I always have the S&P 500 running in the background. That is my intent. That's what I want to do. I never take my eye off the market, and I never take my eye off that 1OP indicator. This helps me constantly know what the market's doing. And when I'm searching for relative strength and relative weakness, I can view my chart right alongside of the S&P 500. So let me go into one of the favorite searches that I have. The day trading searches you should be focusing on. Heavy buying, awesome, especially right out of the gate. This is a great search to use. We're looking for huge volume stocks. We're looking for big spikes above the prior day's high. That would be a classic for heavy buying. There are a couple of other criteria in there. Relative strength 30. This is the search that we use when the market is pulling back, pulling back, pulling back. Example, we had this pullback yesterday. As the market's pulling back, we want to be looking for relative strength 30. We want to be watching these stocks because these are the ones that are going to fly as soon as the market finds support. Let's say that we get in a little bit early on this trade right in here on some stocks that have relative strength, and the market gives us another down leg, throws us a little bit of a curveball. By being in these stocks, there's a very good chance you could even be making money even with the market going down like this, but it gives us time to adjust the position. It gives us time to think about the position. It gives us time to exit the position if we need to without losing money. But if you're trading the S&P 500 and you get this move, you are going to lose money. Period. That's how it works. We have a huge cushion in trading the underlying stocks. That is our edge. We are not monster institutions who are forced to trade the S&P 500. We are small retail investors, and we need to use this edge. Institutions won't even bother with the stock trades that we're doing. They can't get enough size off to even make it worth their time. That makes this an opportunity for all of us. If you do 1,000 shares on some of these stocks, you're going to make an incredible amount of money. And the big boys, they don't even want to play in these issues. Now, they are playing in these issues because they're taking longer term positions. They're adjusting and they're reallocating their assets over a longer period of time. We're following those breadcrumbs on a daily basis. This is the strategy that you want to use. So we need to focus on posting stock symbols in the chat room. So relative strength 30, you get a market pullback, starts to find support. These are the stocks that you want to be in there nailing. Relative strength 30. Unbelievable search. Bullish explosion. We've had a huge market decline right now, so I've turned the bullish explosion alerts off. I'll probably be turning them back on in a day or two. We're getting inundated with these because there's so many stocks that are making huge moves on big volume. But typically, this search, we may only get 8 quality trades a year on this, but one trade is all it takes to pay for a year of option stalker. They are huge trades. So I will be turning that back on as soon as the market settles down a little bit. Bull Run has been the most unbelievable search to use during this market decline. There are many metrics that I use to look for price stability and to look for stocks that have been consistently ticking higher just like that. So easy. All you have to do is go to this list. Click, 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 click. You can even use the auto flip feature right here. You click that button and look, all of a sudden they just start flipping through the charts. You see something you like, pause it, take a look. But look at these charts. That's the kind of momentum that we want to be trading. See all that strength? That's it. That's what we want. I'm going to turn these buy signals off, and now I'm going to show you some other tools that you need to be using. Now we're going to put up the 1OSI indicator. This is going to show us relative strength and relative weakness. Again, I'm on a 5-minute chart. Look at that relative strength right there. This is what we want. When you post a stock symbol in the chat room, every one of us should be able to bring up that stock chart and see that relative strength and know why you feel that's a good stock pick. So in this particular instance, there are a couple of entry points that you could have. One would be a downward sloping trend line like this on an M5 basis and a breakout here. For some of you, it could be a horizontal breakout through this level right here. Let's talk about that on another chart. It won't work right here. It would work on the downside, and I'll show you how that would work. Let's say that this is a downside relative weakness stock. Just assume this is a weak stock. Here's how you set an alert. You click alert, you find a horizontal support level that you'd like to be breached, and you double click on it. Boom, there's my alert line. Okay, if I want to, I can take that off, but I will get a pop-up alert when that price level is violated. I would do the same thing right here. In fact, if I saw this type of relative strength starting to form, and I see it in here, and now the stock is starting to grind higher, it's of interest to me. But, it's going to be of greater interest to me when it can get through that point right there. So what do? I start to see it in here. I don't have time to park on it. I want to find other stocks. So I click alert. I double click on that. I can't do it right now because, well, I'll just do it and I'll show you what happens. That price point's already been violated. And you can see that little pop-up right there. It's not going to draw the line. It's not going to draw the alert because that price point has already been breached. Drop your alert lines. All of a sudden, you get a pop-up alert right in the middle of the platform. Hey, remember me, KPTI? You thought I was going to be good if I got through this price point? Here I am. Buy me. You take a look at the chart, you go, wow, look at all that relative strength. That's incredible. Good volume spike in there. I'm in. This is the routine that you need to go through. And I'm going to go into the chat room right now, but this is also the setup that you want to use. So for this SPY chart, if this is the chart that you really like to use, go down to the little triangle at the bottom of the chart and click Save Template. It'll ask you to name it. And maybe you want to name this. I've already named SPY, so I'm going to go 1 SPY. Click OK. And the next time I go down here, when I do my chart pop-up in the morning, I'll be able to see it listed, 1SPY. I click that, and then I don't have to go through and reconfigure all of this. But this is the trading setup that I like to use. So let's go into the chat room and talk a little bit about that. There's something that I'm going to be adding, and that is a pop-up. We've had lots and lots of people taking the trial recently. And so I want to set some ground rules for us in the chat room, and I want to let trial takers know what's expected and how the chat room operates. So I'm adding a pop-up to the chat room. You'll need to read through it. You'll need to agree to it. But I also let everyone know what is the jargon that we use, because we get a lot of questions. What does that mean I'm bidding? What does that mean I'm offering? What does that mean long and short? So I wanted to make sure that I explain that so everybody has the same reference point and knows how we're trying to post these trades. And the reason for all of it is efficiency, pure and simple. I want this to be a complete collection of just stock symbols. We go in, we can flip that same chart. We can see that Bob is buying XYZ, you bring up XYZ chart and you go, yup, that's a good one. I think I'll join them on that. That's how this resource is supposed to work. My job is to give you an idea of what the overall market is doing so that you know how to position yourself. That's why I give you the play-by-play on the SPY. So I've also highlighted in this pop-up the pattern that we're looking for. And I'm going to overlay it on the chart right now so that you can also see that. And let's take a look at some of these. So we've got this as an indicator of relative strength. We can also use the SPY in the background, and I do this oftentimes. So let's say that I'm trading the last few minutes of the market, and let's say that I feel that there's a market bounce coming. I see this sell-off right in here, and I can see the stock rally, rally, rally mode. And that actually lines up with the last hour of trading. So this is the last hour of trading. We've got a market sell-off there and there. What did the stock do? It had one little bar where it sold off and then a big green bar. Well, if I'm looking at this, market going down, stock going up, I get pretty excited right here when I see that. As soon as the market bounces a little bit, what does the stock do? It's like throwing rocket fuel on a fire. Whoosh, gone. That's why we want to be in these issues. Let's say that you had gotten in the trade a little bit earlier, and let's move this over a little bit. Let's say that you got long right in here, okay, which would be right in this area in the stock, and you're long the stock, and you're thinking, hey, this is great. Yeah, the stock is moving up. This is feeling pretty good. I like this. It got through this horizontal level, and then the market goes wham. If you were long S&P futures here, you probably gave all your gains back right on that one bar. We've had 20, 30 point S&P moves in a 5-minute bar recently. It's just not that tradable. But look what the stock did. You didn't even get head faked out of it. In fact, as soon as this little wave of selling went through on the SPY, the stock ran higher. If I had to adjust the position and if the SPY turned into more of an event, more of a selling event, and it continued to drop, 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 this stock is going to give me a ton of time to evaluate that. And I would look over here and go, uh-oh, I'm on the wrong side of the market. I better get the heck out of this stock trade. Or you can go, well, you know what? Tail under body, green candle, wiped out almost all that red candle. I think I can hang on to this trade for a little bit and then zoom, there goes the stock. Yes, that was a good thing for me to hold on. These stocks give us so much cushion. That is our complete edge as individual traders. Institutions can't bother with what we are doing. We trade 1,000 shares of an $18 stock and we pull in a buck on that trade. That is $1,000. That's nothing to an institution. But to me, I'll take $1,000, thank you. That's how we need to trade. And that's what relative strength is. I can put up all these charts, CPRI. Look at that relative strength all in here. Okay, this stock wants to go. Really, really nice compression in here while the market is pulling back. That tells me that the next breakout's going to be a good one. And I could go right down the list. I think you get the point right now. We want that relative strength. This is our edge. So let's go into the chat room. Let's talk about the chat room a little bit. So you can see here as we go through the day, I'm posting lots of lessons. And what I would like to see in the chat room is just posting symbols. And if there's an opportunity for someone to back up someone else's pick, for instance, gee, I really like TTD, you can add, hey, that looks excellent on a D1 basis too, because it's breaking through the 100-day moving average. I like it as well. Now, you know that I got a little bit frustrated yesterday and I went off on everybody and I had a rant because I'm in there trying to trade the SPY. Full disclosure, I lost 6 points trading the SPY yesterday. $6. That's a lot for me. That's a big loss. I feel like the market is transitioning. We've been able to successfully day trade the SPY because we've had a huge downtrend over the course of the next month. I think we're going to get into much choppier trading on the SPY, meaning there's going to be two-sided action, upward and downward, and that's not going to bode well for day trading it because there are going to be a lot of choppy moves as institutions start to square off. But our opportunities in individual stocks will be phenomenal because these institutions are also rotating through different groups and sectors, and we can see a ton of strength in one sector in any given day, and we want to ride that momentum. That's the relative strength or the relative weakness that we're going to take advantage of. And so throughout the course of the day, I started to see everybody sitting back on their hands, not posting anything. I need to see lots of symbols in the chat room. That's what it's all about. You post a symbol when you enter a trade. That's all you have to say. Long XYZ. And then all of us will take a look and go, wow, somebody's buying XYZ. What does that chart look like? So I'm going to go down, and I lost $6 on the SPY, but long TTD. I started trading stock, and I told all of you, listen, I'll go in and I'll just start trading stock, and I don't even have to post anything. I'll just go and trade my own stock, just like everyone else. Hanker down and do your own thing. This is about sharing ideas. We can all benefit from it because we're all small traders. So this needs to be a community where we're laser focused on just posting symbols. So as soon as I started to do that, I just started ripping off trades one by one. Plus, I'm also posting all of these charts to show you the pattern that's intact and where that relative strength is coming from. In this case, it was relative weakness. Market rallying up, stock starting to drift lower. This is a good short. I shorted this for, I don't know, 20 or 30 cent gain. By the end of the day, even though I had lost $6 on the SPY day trading it, that's what my stock trades did. I was 11-0 on stock trades. There's a huge edge to it. I get so many people that come into the chat room. I just want to trade SPY. I want to trade the S&P 500. That's fine. But be prepared to take a lot of losses in this type of market. You can't always trade the SPY or the ES because you get into super choppy conditions where institutions are moving money back and forth. They're lifting hedges, they're adding hedges. That's their vehicle. The S&P 500 is thick. When you get a 1-month market decline like we've seen, wonderful. We can day trade the heck out of that and make a lot of money. But normally, the S&P 500 doesn't make moves like that, and it's very choppy. That's when we can go into individual stocks and make money like this. And you can see a lot of winners in here. This $17 stock, a 20-cent winner, sure, I'll take that. There's a $3 stock I made 7 cents on. What big deal, 7 cents. On a $3 stock, that's a big gain. I use a constant dollar allocation for my trades. So on a $3 stock, when I make 7 cents, it means a lot. That would be like making 70 cents on a $33 stock. So big move. Or $7 on a $300 stock. Very big move. So I just wanted to get the ground rules out of the way. If you're new to the chat room, if you're taking the trial, welcome. Please come in. Watch what we're doing. Try and understand the systematic approach that we're using to trading. Know that all the trade ideas come from option stalker searches, and try to learn that concept of relative strength and relative weakness. We don't expect you to post. Quite frankly, we don't want you to post because what that does is it clutters up the entire chat room with nonsense. And I don't want small talk in here. You know, we need to keep it focused on symbols so that when new trade opportunities come up, we're all on it. If you post an entry, I want to see you post an exit. If you want to post an exit without posting the entry, forget about it. We don't want to hear about your gigantic winners. If you posted the entry and you had a big winner, we'll all give you a high five and congratulate you on the trade. But we don't want a bunch of people posting just their winners in here when there were no entries posted. So those are some of the ground rules. If you are on the trial and you have any questions, please click help. I'd be happy to help you. Sometimes I can help during the day. I can always help you after the market closes. And if I'm in a personal fast mode, I'll let you know that I can't talk right away, but I'll try and make time even during the course of the trading day. So click help. That's your resource to ask me questions. If you're a member in the chat room and you've got some questions, please note your question. I'm going to be taking a half an hour at the end of each day to answer your questions. So there'll be lots of time. If you have a screenshot of a chart that you can post, we have the ability to post charts in the chat room. Just click that paper clip. Then all of us can take a look at the chart and we could start looking at why that trade was good or why that trade wasn't good. So I hope that all these rules and policies help you understand how I'd like the chat room to operate. This is the best chat room in the world, and it can be even better. And that's really what I'm trying to accomplish. So thanks for watching. I'm going to have those rules set up, and I look forward to having you in here. Trade well. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.